Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL calls me hormonal brat after I don't accept her bizarre compliment. Mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. Update: mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL calls me hormonal brat after I don't accept her bizarre compliment. One day, when my daughter is just 3 weeks old, I overhear my husband on the phone with his mom, giving her an update about the baby's health. I see his face screw up in confusion, and then he quickly says, "Please don't repeat that joke, that will hurt her feelings." The very next day, my husband, baby, and I are on a video call with my MIL, and I give MIL a detailed update on the 3-week well baby checkup, including baby's weight gain. MIL says, "Oh, you're a Jersey cow, the best milk for healthy babies. Yummy yum yum." I'm gobsmacked. Truth be told, I'm quite unskilled with boundaries or standing up for myself, but I manage to calmly and evenly state I definitely object to being called a cow. MIL ignores me and changes the subject. I yawn on camera and don't cover my mouth because both of my hands are cradling the baby. I'm not saying it's cool to yawn without covering one's mouth, but I think compassion for a new parent for being tired is probably warranted. I barely even realized I was yawning, I was so dang tired. My MIL proceeds to curtly TSK me and say that's absolutely disgusting. Cover your mouth when you yawn. I immediately leave the room, try to calm myself down, and place baby in her crib, but in a fit of rage I return to scream back to my husband, "Tell your mother to never call me $and cow ever again." Q days of MIL blowing up my husband's phone and demanding that he force me to apologize to her. I email MIL and tell her why I will never apologize for being offended by being called livestock. She then writes back that she has decided to be the bigger person and forgive me for acting like a hormonal teenage brat because she loves me so very much. From my POV, your MIL is a frigging **** hole. I'm glad you're so stood up for you when he told her to knock it off. She always been difficult? Haha, thanks. Unfortunately, a scary aspect is she has become progressively more difficult as she ages. She mixes her Xanax with wine, which I don't think helps the situation. Double rude because she was already warned you wouldn't like the joke. I used to call myself a cow in the context of being in the milking parlor, pumping, but hey, I live on a farm. Totally different context. Agreed. A sense of humor about oneself is super important. I honestly would have overlooked her poor joke for the sake of let little stuff go if it weren't for the lack of compassion she showed me yawning and the fact that she was warned, very respectfully I might add, by my husband just the day prior. Let me guess, she was in full evening gown, heels, and pearls 3 weeks postpartum? Who does she think she's fooling here? She's doing what mine did. She's insecure about her looks at this age, so she's taking a cheap shot at you. My MIL did the same to my wife the day we returned from the hospital, saying that my wife's nipples looked huge, and that her postpartum underwear made her look like she crapped her pants. I kicked her out of our house on the second comment. Picked up her purse, handed it to her, and opened the door, bye-bye. It's about their insecurity, jealousy, and regrets, so they project on others who are vulnerable. Just ignore her, and husband needs to tell her if she expects to have any video calls or come over for visits, she is expected to be on her best behavior or she will be promptly asked to leave. Your MIL is an **** hole. Mine said something similar when my son was little. I had just gotten home from work and wanted to change into more comfortable clothes, so I handed my 3-month-old to my brother-in-law to hold. As I walk down the hall, I hear my MIL saying, "Don't worry, your dinner is coming back. Dinner will be back soon." After changing and walking back, she drops, "See, look, here comes dinner." My husband told her off for that, and she apologized to him, but never to me. And now she wonders why we're not close. Wow, way to completely dehumanize you. Who says that, especially to a 3-month-old? They don't know what the word dinner means. Is that supposed to comfort them until you could come back and feed them? What a dumb thing to say. I think I would have replied to the first comment with something like, "You don't get any." But I would definitely have been offended to be called a hormonal teenage brat. Of course you are hormonal, and it does not make you a brat. She owes you an apology. I have never once covered my mouth yawning. WTF? I would never talk to her again if my MIL called me a hormonal teenage brat 3 weeks after having a baby. I do if I'm out in public and my hands are free, but I don't get mad at people if they don't. I get a little grossed out by people who don't cover their mouth when they cough, but that's about it. And the superciliousness of her comment that she forgives her. Mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. My mother-in-law is toxic in a million ways, but given that I'm not in the mood to write a novel, I will focus on the lack of respect for privacy. My husband and I got married in private a few years back, with plans to have a public wedding later. Only immediate family was invited to the small ceremony and were told to keep it a secret. My MIL slipped up the day of the wedding and confessed that she told her friends, then she lied and said no. I told them it was an engagement dinner. We had been publicly engaged for 2 years at that point and no one would buy that. Years later, she confessed to telling people. Now I am 10 weeks pregnant and have only told immediate family. She initially agreed she would keep it a secret. Even said she was superstitious and wouldn't dream of saying anything until after the first trimester, she has told her friends. She lied and told my husband that her friends overheard me talking about it at an event. Which I know to be 1000% a lie. Haven't even had my first ultrasound yet and she has spread news that isn't hers. The kicker is she now is requesting permission to tell her distant relatives, pretty sure she has already told them. My husband didn't address her telling her friends and redirected her to contacting me for permission, but she has yet to call. My husband is acting like telling her to not tell more people fixes the fact that she has already violated those boundaries. I want the fact that she already told her friends addressed. I'm literally fuming. I know how it will go. She will hold tight to the lie that her friends overheard and give a false apology based on that. Not on blatantly ignoring our wishes. She is the Achilles in our marriage and we just recently had a catastrophic fight involving her. How do I shut this down for good? Absolutely do not tell her anything until you're ready for it to be made public. Explain your reasons to your husband. If he goes against your wishes, then you also have a husband problem, not just a MIL problem. I believe you have a serious DH problem. He's the one who needs to take care of this huge problem because it's his mother. As for you, best thing to do is go and see with her on everything, as well as block her. Let your husband deal with her directly if he wants. She's not your responsibility. You take care of yourself first as your priority number 1. If your DH has issues with you about going in see, don't back down. Also suggest seeing a therapist. Congrats on the baby. Stop telling her things. It's my husband, not me. But I'm surely putting an end to that. After this, she will get nothing. Not even a glimpse at the ultrasound pictures. This. And tell your husband you and him are supposed to be a team. Stop being a doormat and sack up. He needs to be your advocate and back his mom down. You need to start setting boundaries and expectations now, or she'll run right over you during your pregnancy. And get worse once the baby is here. He's your husband now and you and the baby come first. Her wants and needs aren't you guys' problems. Information diet. Tell her nothing until you are ready and have already informed everyone you wish to inform. Start now. She's the last from now on. Gender. Birth. Name. She knows when everybody else does. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. I should have known. No third round for her because that means shame on yourself for knowing better this would happen. This is the reason why my MIL is always the one to be the last to be told. You need to ask your husband why his mother is more important to him than respecting his wife. From your DH mom, your friend did not overhear my wife at XY event, I know, because she did not mention her pregnancy there. Your friend knows because you told them. This is my wife's and my news. We will share it when we are ready with the people we want to share it with. There is no need for you to tell anyone. I am not a child who needs a parent to pass on my news. Stop treating me as if I am. She's always the last to know. Problem solved. Update: mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. Husband confronted his mom about spilling the beans in regards to me being pregnant. I was willing to forgive and let go if she admitted she was wrong and took back the lie that people heard me because I was at an event talking about it. He told her I knew this wasn't true and she leaned into the lie more by sacrificing her close friends. She now says I was talking about my pregnancy and named a specific friend who overheard and took it back to another specific friend. She feels she can tell this lie because I will let it go and there will be no consequences. She thinks that because they are her friends, I will feel like it's out of my control as far as holding people accountable. Let me reiterate that I know she is lying on them. I am just insulted that she blamed me and now is lying on her friends. So now I'm going to play her little game with her. I have now instructed him to tell her that since this was the case, friend A betrayed not only my husband and I, but her as well. She too should be upset. If she indeed did overhear something and my MIL didn't run her mouth, out of respect for my MIL, my spouse, and she should have kept her mouth shut and not spread what she heard to friend B. In a sense, she was gossiping about our family as a whole. He now has to tell his mom that friends A and B are not allowed anywhere near the baby showers or baby-related anything since they clearly lack respect. She normally finds any excuse to include these friends in our life events and loves to show off, so this will be a gut shot. This will also require my MIL to tell more lies to us and especially to her friends regarding why they aren't allowed at the baby showers. My MIL is cut off from any more information regarding the baby and is not allowed in the hospital room. We can negotiate when she can see the baby once we are settled at home. He will not be telling this part to her, it's just something she will find out as she asks questions with no response and is told not to come to the hospital. Also, she is to have no contact with me. He initially instructed her to contact me, but instead she wanted to tell him all the lies because she knew that wouldn't work with me. She's literally using me for her lies, so now she is to only have contact with him and not directly with me. This won't change her as a person, but will get her off of my back and maybe it will make her think twice before lying on me again. I just want my baby and I to be healthy and at peace. Hubby did not come up with any of these boundaries, but as he has a history of not defending me and depending on me to swallow my pride and take her punches to keep the peace, I honestly am beyond the point of caring what he thinks. Right now me and my baby are priority. Good luck. And just to FYI, you can register as private at most hospitals and they won't give out any info to people wokackle fishing for info. Just make sure to tell the nurses that there is a baby crazy MIL. You can also password protect things too. Speak to the people working there, organize a password that must be given to discuss any information about appointments, records, etc. They'll put a note in your file that it has to be given so MIL won't have a chance to get anything at all. Don't forget that if her friends or anyone else asks on their behalf why they're excluded, tell them exactly what MIL said about them. That she blamed them for spreading your private personal and medical information, which is why they are cut out of your lives. Make sure it's done publicly so everyone involved can start calling out your MIL for the liar she is. One word, OOF. I'm so sorry. I can't give any advice. But I can wish for the best. So hope all goes well. Given your mother-in-law from hell. Hope she doesn't snoop your dell. And leaves at the morning's bell. Tell her the wrong hospital so if she tries to show up after being told not to, she goes to the wrong one. Genius. You too should talk to her friends and tell them what your MIL said, how she threw them under the bus. Their friends will think you're an A*** hole and she will lie to them, not that their opinion matters, it's just funny the thought of your MIL trying to explain it to them. Yes. If you're gonna stir the pot, use both hands. Better bring the big spoon too. 'Cause I'm bringing mine. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.